Listen, I mentioned it earlier. Nothing's imminent. Do I believe in naming rights? I do. I've done quite a few in my career. You know, I was at NASCAR when we went from Winston Cup to Nextel Cup. I did, you know, I was at Continental Airlines Arena when I took over the Nets. We turned it into Izod Center. We sold Barclays Center when I moved to Brooklyn. So naming rights aren't foreign to me. I see the value in them, if they're the right naming rights and it's the right partner. So we're going to explore it, and we'll see where we land.
Aside from the money, what is the value of signing over the naming rights of the league to?
You got to have a partner that's willing to elevate and amplify the conference. That to me is critically important, and someone that's going to be a strategic partner. If someone's just coming to leverage, you know, the brand power of the Big 12, that's not of no interest to us. But if they can come in and the economics are right, and they can provide the value creation that we're looking for, and support our student athletes and elevate our narrative in all the right ways, both locally and regionally and nationally, then it becomes a very interesting opportunity for us and one we're going to strongly consider.
Is it important to keep the 12 in the name?
You know, we haven't gone that far yet. You know, Tyrell's done a wonderful job in getting 12 to mean more than how many members. As you can see, we've always been greater than 12. We're celebrating 12 where we can. We talked about a content series with student athletes on, you know, that's going to be called 12-12. We celebrate 12-12. So we'll see where that goes. But the first order is, can we find the right strategic and financial partner that's going to support this conference in all the right ways? And nothing is imminent.
You talked so much about branding. What is your view of Coach Prime and what he's done at CU now as you're welcoming him as a member?
Listen, we have 16 great football coaches. I've gotten to know Coach Prime really well. I love his energy and I love his passion for what he does. Obviously excited for Colorado coming back into the conference. He's a football legend, and let's face it, you know, there's a big audience that follows him, and that's going to benefit the Big 12 and all of our schools. So we embrace Coach Prime no different than we embrace all of our coaches and everything that they bring to the conference.
Does he blend that you talked about, blending kind of the old and new? Is he an example of that?
Yeah, listen, I would look at him kind of like me. We're both a little disruptive, I guess, in a positive way, and we like to break boundaries in a positive way, and we like to stir the pot a little bit, and I think that's very healthy, and I think collegiate athletics needs it.
Brett, you mentioned the jersey patches up there. Were you talking specifically about the officials doing that?
The officials.
Okay, are you in favor of student athletes having jersey patches?
I haven't thought through the student athlete patch dynamic yet. I think just given everything that's going on, it's certainly something that is that we have to table for the foreseeable future. But I do believe in the officials patch. I think it's the right thing to do right now. As I mentioned in my comments, I love what the NBA's done with Emirates. I think there's opportunities to replicate that in our space and create value for the conference and ultimately our schools when you think about revenue. So that's something that I'm focused on right now.
Is there a path for the Big 12 to either financially or perception-wise to be one of the top two conferences, or is it you're just chasing?
Listen, we're one of the, and I say this often, we're one of the 3 best conferences in America, and we're getting better. Think about where we were just 24 months ago, and think about where we are today. So I will not stop until we're the #1 conference in America. That's my ambition. I shouldn't have anything but that. And that's what that's the ambition of our conference. It's the ambition of our presidents and ADs. Why would we be doing what we're doing if we don't aspire to be #1? But we continue to get better, and I like where we're going.
You gave Colorado a signing bonus to join the league a year ago, but apparently nobody else. Is that right?
I'm not going to discuss my negotiating tactics, but listen, we were thrilled that Colorado was the first mover, and ultimately one got us 4, you know, when you think about it. So whatever we did in those negotiations seemed to work out pretty well for us.
What was the thought process behind spreading out all the rivalries in this league throughout the schedule, reimagining the rivalries?
Well, I think rivalries are critically important. You know, I was thinking about this morning, talking to Scott Draper. I mean, Utah, BYU, Arizona State, Kansas State, Kansas State, Iowa State. I mean, Baylor, TCU. I mean, great rivalries. Scott has a scheduling committee that he works with, and they were focused on the rivalries that obviously mean something, not only to the history of the conference, but also to our fans. And I think we landed in a great place.
Hey guys, 2 more questions.
Arizona and Kansas are the biggest brands.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Arizona and Kansas are 2 of the biggest brands in college basketball. They're only playing once. Is there some thoughts about maybe having them play twice a year?
We haven't thought through that. You know, there's a lot that goes into that scheduling matrix when you think about travel, student athlete travel, et cetera, et cetera. We got to be pretty thoughtful about it. But you're right, 2 of the biggest brands in college basketball. And we'll see what happens after the first year.
1 more question, guys.
Commissioner, when you have 3 or 4 power conferences now with a footprint in Texas, how important is it for the Big 12 to make sure you keep those ties strong?
Oh, incredibly important. You know, Dallas is home. In fact, you know, we're moving into new offices and have doubled down in Dallas. You know, when you think about the conference office, as I mentioned earlier, with AT&T through 31, we did an extension with Globe Life for baseball. So Dallas is critically important. It's our home market. But given, you know, realignment, others are in the market. But we'll continue to have the biggest voice for sure.
Okay, thanks everyone. Appreciate y'all.